Welcome back to another edition of Trending with Easy on WOL AM 1450, where information is power. And today's segment is very important to me because as we continue to have a roundtable of discussion about so many different things on this show, I think that given the state of the African American community from a health standpoint, that we would be remiss to not talk about our health and our fitness, and we're going to get into the wellness thing as well. So today is all about fitness. We will have J. Hud in the studio to talk to us about fitness and her trials and tribulations with the Weight Watchers thing and that whole thing. I would like to take this opportunity to introduce you to our panelists today. D'Angelo Kennard. Yep, your workout is my warm-up. Of course, he's my trainer.
Yes, sir.
And we've been training together for a couple of months now. And he's been doing this for a long time. He's got a website. We'll give you all that information in just a little bit. Also, my good friend, my sister, Joyce Jackson.
What's up?
Say hello.
What's up, Easy?
All right. Seen you on 8, 9, all these channels. And you're a fitness guru, and everybody knows who you are. And thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Also, would like to introduce our panelists in the building. The police is here, y'all. How you doing, Brian?
How you doing, everyone out there?
All right, introduce yourself real quick.
My name is Brian. I'm 27. I'm a police officer in Virginia. I'm just glad to be here and glad that Easy gave me a chance to be on the show today.
All right, wonderful. And Katora, hey sis, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
What's
How's
going
everybody? I'm great. My name is Katora. I'm 25 years old. I'm a contract specialist for the federal government. I'm very, very interested in this topic because it's something that I'm really, really becoming conscious of right now as a young black female. So, got a lot to say about it. So.
All right. Also, our good friend Sharice, who's going to hold us down on Facebook and Twitter. You can check and search Trending with Easy on Facebook. Also follow @EasyStreet on Twitter. Let's jump right in. And I'll start off with me. I'm just going to go ahead and just throw all my guts right here on the table, all right? In my family, we have high blood pressure. In my family, we have diabetes. In my family, we have heart disease, which is one of the reasons why I linked up with D'Angelo. Because we know historically, looking at our families and our medical makeup and our past and our DNA, things that were in the past can come to light in our lives today. Isn't that true, D'Angelo?
Absolutely, absolutely. Genetics, our lifestyle, our culture all impact the way that we eat, the way that we live, our interactions with one another. And one of the things that you do find is that, unfortunately, for years, health and fitness and wellness hasn't been on the top of our list. So it's great that more are becoming involved. After being in the industry for a number of years, I don't come across a lot of African Americans, unfortunately. And now we're starting to see, a mass movement in terms of what we eat, and really paying attention to everything that we do because it impacts everything that we do. So I think Easy, you're a great example of that. You came in humble. That's the first and foremost thing I need, particularly when it comes to guys, because industry-wide, we encounter more females than anything. I say out of the many clients I train, and this is including some of the pro athletes I train, females are probably 90% of who I train. And a lot of that, unfortunately, is because of vanity, not because of, they're concerned about health. But the fact that they're there, then I can promote the health aspects. So I think what you're doing is a great job. And I know you said that Miss Joyce Jackson is queen of everything, and she's actually been, she's been training with me for a couple years, and I guess 3 years, right?
Yeah, about 3 years now.
Yeah.
What have you learned?
Quite a bit. That the warm-up for some other people, they couldn't handle the workout that D'Angelo can put you through. When I first got there, it was actually for health reasons to rehab a knee. Being in the sports industry as a reporter, I see all aspects of it, and now I'm a general manager of a 24-hour Fitness for Less in Laurel, and I saw a little girl come in the other day, 11 years old, with diabetes already.
My God.
And now and they're looking for a trainer now. The problem is we have to get them before they get to that point. And like you, my family has the same type of diseases. My father has everything you name in just one person. And it came from diet. And no matter how much you say you can't eat this, he falls back into those habits. But your health is your most precious commodity. So if you do not take care of that, it is going to affect you in every other aspect of your life. And that's the unfortunate part I think is missed by a lot of people when we start talking about health and wellness.
Right. Ryan, let's get you into discussion, man. From what you've seen, why do you think we're just, as a people, just eating any and everything, just putting anything in our body?
I don't know. I think it's a lot of it's out of habit. Growing up, I mean, it's what your parents eat. What do you eat? Soul food. People think it's good. I mean, it is good, but like I said, it's
I was at
not
Carolina Kitchen yesterday. And it's a great shout out to Lance London.
but the thing is, it's not healthy though.
Right.
When the way it's cooked, you're killing all the nutrients. The greens, I mean, you're killing the nutrients out. You cook it so much that all the nutrients are gone. Like I said, the different ham and all that stuff. I mean, it's so much sugar and fat and everything in it. I mean, like I said, it's so much in there. Like I said, it's killing all the nutrients. Like I said, you're not getting any good healthy nutrients from it.
Now, one thing that I've learned is, and when we talk about the whole movie Soul Food, Katora, did you see Soul Food?
I did.
Okay, let's get her into discussion.
I think
if you remember, let me just before you jump in.
Okay.
Why did Big Mama die?
I'm assuming because of what she was cooking
Right.
every Sunday.
What she was cooking, right? And so at the end of the movie, when Big Mama died, what did they do?
They ate.
They ate some more soul food. My gosh.
But that's how we celebrate. I mean, you celebrate a lot in our community through foods, through drink, through interaction with other people, and food is a part of that. And people like to give you things that taste good because they kind of connect with you emotionally. They want to pull you in. I'm from New Orleans. That's what we do.
Right.
We pull people in with food.
But unfortunately, we celebrate all the time.
I know.
All the time
we celebrate.
We celebrate Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Right. Katora, talk to us.
Just like every other family, my family had the same type of tradition. You know, we had our Sunday dinners with a whole bunch of drink. I'd say about 5 years ago, my mother had taken me and my brothers and sisters off of red meats. And I really, really pride her for that because my body feels so much lighter. It feels so much better, so much greater. Knowing that my grandmother and my father, you know, they had cancer and diabetes and some of the other things that you all named. I don't want to see myself in that predicament. I don't want to be in that position. So, you know, I try to eat as healthy as I can. I only eat seafoods. And I eat chicken as well, so I take myself off of the red meats, and it's been great for me thus far. So.
Our phone number is 1-800-450-7876. Again, 1-800-450-7876. If you have questions or comments, we would love to have you. You know, one thing that I've noticed in regards to this whole phenomena of fitness and looking at the African-American community, looking at young people getting obese at such early ages is, you know, I think it's indicative and symptomatic of the fact that we live in a food society. Everywhere you look, I mean, from looking out the window, I could see Burger King from here, Red Lobster from here, McDonald's from here, down the street. There is food everywhere, and we inject food into every... Name one holiday that we don't eat. Can you name one? Nobody can. Crickets. We are a food society. I mean, how do we control that, D'Angelo? What can we do? How do we put the clamp down on some of this stuff?
I think the biggest thing is that we just need to become more conscious of not only the amount that we eat. As Brian mentioned, it's about the nutrients. The enemy is salt, it's sugar, and it's in everything. I had a discussion with a young lady, and she said, "Oh, do you mind grabbing me some lunch when you head out?" I said, "Fine, but I know you're not going to eat what I pick up." "Yeah, because I want chicken wings with mumbo sauce." And here's a question, particularly for our DC people out there. What's in mumbo sauce?
That's a good question.
Sugar, salt, and red.
Right.
That's it. What is red?
I hope it's not the red 40 because I remember back in the day they said red 40 that was
Absolutely.
the element that had pork in it in the Twizzlers in the big red gum.
Yeah, yeah.
You make a joke, but there was an article in the Post this morning just talking about some of the foods that we eat and all the bright colors that we see, and how a lot of those foods have red 40 in it. Cereal has
Right.
red 40 in it. The Nutri-Grain bars, you're like, oh, I'm eating my whole grains with strawberry flavoring, has red 40 in it. And I'm sitting there reading an article like, oh my God, that's off the list. This off the list. This is off the list.
Right.
So yeah, it's you have to watch and be cognizant of what's in what you're eating, and make the right choices.
What's interesting is this. We're going to take a break and come right back and take your phone calls at 1-800-450-7876. What's interesting to me is this is something that the Nation of Islam and Elijah Muhammad and Farrakhan and all of them were teaching about red 40 way back in the 70s in the book How to Eat to Live. We'll be right back in a minute, okay? Trending with Easy on WOL 1450 AM, where information is power. Focus on it because you only get one body.
Right.
You only get one body. You only get one chance. And if you mess this up, not good. Sharice, you have some action for us on Facebook. You can follow us, Trending with Easy on Facebook, and you have a question for our panel.
Yes, this question actually is on Twitter. And the question is from Phil For Real 85. Why isn't there a push from the black churches or the religious community for us to eat better?
I think that actually there is, and it's funny that that person asked that question. I actually work with a number of pastors. Pastor Coles in New Bethel. I see you in the gym. He's Tony because we work hard. It's Tony. And that's been a trend. But I think more than anything, a lot of the church community are afraid to break from tradition because people expect it. And I mean, unfortunately, to a degree, it's a popularity contest. So if you come in and you start to make these changes, and one, if you're not doing it yourself, which, like I said, Pastor Coles is doing, it's hard for your congregation to pick up on that. But there is a push, and it's slow. But I think with shows like this, with Easy's doing, I think that will help, change that trend.
Okay, we have another comment from Trill Hansen, and he says it's too expensive to eat healthy. What would you
I hear it all the time. I hear
Go
it
ahead.
all
So
the
what are
time.
the alternatives? How can you go to the store and eat healthy and not break the bank?
Good question.
What I like to say is, just like with our clothing, sometimes we don't have to have all the name brands because vegetables have no name brand, fruits have no name brand. A lot of times we're so dictated to by commercials, all the advertising out there. We need to have the best of this, the best of that. There's still good quality food at every local grocery store. You just have to find it instead of the quick, instead of the cheap. And remember, cheap isn't always, the most beneficial. If you're doing those cup of noodle soups with 1,500 grams of sodium, killing yourself. Versus, you can get a store brand pasta, cook it yourself if pasta is what you need, and then you're fine. But frozen vegetables, your local store brand, I do it all the time because, as you can see, I'm a big guy. I eat a lot, so I'll get the family size. Broccoli, string beans, you get yourself a whole chicken. I mean, you can get one that's prepared. I think it's Fridays at one of the stores where it's like $5. You get a couple of those, you eat off of it for a couple of days. But we want quick versus planning. And one of the things that I work with a lot of my clients, and Joyce can tell you more about planning for her week, and that's the way that you can cut costs as well as eat healthy.
Yeah, he does work with me on that. I don't like it all the time, but I have to write down what I eat and everything I eat. But my comment to that person would be, why not spend more money on what you're putting in the body?
Absolutely.
Because this is like you said, you only get one body. So why not spend money on what you're eating to put in it? You want to be cheap when it comes to your health, and that is a problem that we have mentally. We start pinching pennies when we have to buy stuff that's good for us. But we don't have a problem paying $6 or $7 or $8 to go get a burger. At Burger King, by the time you get a meal, you spent $8.
Right.
Whereas you can spend that same money, go get some spinach and get a rotisserie chicken, take the skin off of it, and you have a much healthier meal.
Right.
But even if it did cost me more, I've come to the point to understand that in the end it's going to cost me less because I'm not going to be on 12 pills a day to survive like my father is.
Right.
So I'm going to spend the money now. And yes, you should. You cannot manage what you don't measure. So you should be aware of what you're putting in I write down what I put in, bring it in for D'Angelo to look over. He's like, no, you can't have that. 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 That's basically what he said. No crunches.
You know, one
No
thing
new
that
crunches.
Yeah.
what Joyce is really saying is make an investment in yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's really all it really is. Make an investment. And the real deal is this. When I look at my meal plan and my dieting and stuff, you do spend more money eating out at the end of the day. I mean, you could go, and me and D'Angelo have talked about this in the past. I plan my meals. Sunday is my shopping day, and I'll plan to get my fruit that I need for the rest of the week, my breakfast, and my salads and stuff like that, and I'm good for the rest of the week. I put 1 or 2 hours aside to get my meals together, because what happens is this. We don't go shopping. When we get busy in our day, and the next thing you know, we over at McDonald's getting number 5. Is that what have you seen anything like that, Brian? I mean, with your schedule as a police officer, how do you plan it, and how's it working for you?
Definitely. As a police officer, you definitely have to watch your weight.
Do you guys still go to like Dunkin' Donuts and stuff?
No, you know what?
I knew it was coming.
Donuts.
No, I don't eat donuts. No. But one thing they stress over in the academy is wellness, health and wellness, nutrition. They say if you don't work out, if you start eating out wherever you want to eat out. I worked midnights for like the longest time, and like I said, it was a period of time before I started gaining weight. I went from one of the top of my class until one night that I was chasing a suspect, and the guy, he got away from me. Now, if it would have been a year and a half before that, no, there was no way he would have got away. But like I said, at that moment, I noticed, I was like, yeah, I need to get back to...
Was he black?
No.
Was he a young brother? That young brother
Right.
You know, and hey, it's the youth generation. That's what they say in the NBA, right? The young guys is running the old guys off the court.
But like I said, eating at nighttime, there's nothing open. There's the gas stations, there's McDonald's, there's IHOP, there's Denny's. If you don't pack your lunch, you don't pack your... That's the only place you can eat at. So definitely you got to pre-plan on what you're going to eat. Like I said, and at my point, I mean, I had really no choice of what I ate at night or where I could go at a slim picking. But Wawa gas station, I mean, a lot of that, they have a lot of healthy food there at nighttime you can get. I mean, snacks you can eat. A lot of times I would eat before I would come to work, so I wouldn't be, and just snack at the rest of the fruit and maybe like some whole grain wheat bars or something like that. But that's pretty much what I did.
Couture, how are you managing?
I sit behind a desk, so I gained about 15 pounds since I started working at my job a year and a half ago. And that became a problem with me because I've always been wanting to be in shape and everything. So I have to ration out my fruit and cut it up and put it in little baggies. Otherwise, I'm going right across to Chipotle's or Burger King, whatever's available, that's what I'm going to eat. So if I usually do take lean cuisines to work, if nothing else. If I can't take my leftovers from dinner, I'm going to at least try a lean cuisine. Like I said, otherwise I'm going to be at the fat store.
Okay, can I have that? Sharice is on Facebook, and we're going to get to her comments in a minute. Our phone number, and actually we want to take your calls as well. We want your comments at 1-800-450-7876. Again, 1-800-450-7876. I read a book one time called You on a Diet. And it gave you the breakdown on how you can be able to do all these little tricks and things that you can do to be able to help you lose some weight. And I'm going to share those things with you, a couple of them. We're going to talk do's and don'ts with D'Angelo and take your calls, all right? Trending with Easy on WOL 1450 AM, where information is power.